So, Hare Krishna, let us start our day by prayers to Shri Radha Govinda and our Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalitam Shri Vishakanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय षड गोस्वामी की जय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा. So we are going to start the sloka 5 today. So meanwhile, is to see some hands raised from devotees for the key points what we discussed from our last session. Should I pick somebody? Usual 3 hands I see, but I want some new participation. If I give chance to them, they will tell everything. Then you will not have much to say. So anybody, any new participants? Shivakumar Prabhu, 1 or 2 points from our last session. Can you please add?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. In previous class, in the previous session, we have studied Sloka 3 and 4. Sloka 3 states gives us the instructions that what are the 6 principles which helps us to progress in bhakti, and fourth sloka gives the types of devotees, because this third sloka ends with Sangatyagat Satavrati. Satavrati means association of devotees who are following the footsteps of previous Acharya, and this association of devotees is mentioned. In fourth loka, there are types of devotees that neophyte, Madhyamadikari and Uttamadikari. This is mentioned. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you for that. Who else wish to add? Chanda Yadav Mataji, you want to add any couple of points from our last session? The voice is not clear, Mataji. Some disturbance.
Mataji is traveling, Prabhu. She is
Okay.
Yatra.
Dakor, Prabhuji. Dakor.
Okay, who else? Akshita Reddy Mataji, you want to add anything from our last session?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So, the last session we got to see third and fourth shlokas.
Yes.
So, the third shloka, there were a couple of points about what are the things that we need to do, we need to cultivate in our devotional service.
Yeah.
And main thing is we should be enthusiastic while doing devotional service.
Yeah.
And we should be patient in executing devotional service. And we should follow the previous acharyas. We should follow in their footsteps.
Hmm.
That's the most important thing, as you mentioned. And undoubtedly, by following the 6 principles that for executing pure devotional service, we will be able to progress in our bhakti. And in the fourth shloka till third shloka, it's all about internal development. But fourth shloka is about the relationship with other devotees also.
Yeah.
So how can we establish good association with the other devotees? And 6 principles were given by Srila Rupa Goswami, that Dadati Pratigrifnati Guhyam Akyati Prichati Mumte Bojayate Cheva Shadvidim Priti Lakshanam, that Dadati, offering gifts in charity, Pratigrifnati, accepting them, and Guhyam Akyati Prichati, you said this is the most important thing to share them, to reveal the mind with confidence to the ones that we believe in. And that's a key thing to progress in our devotional service. And as well as prasadam, accepting prasadam and offering prasadam to the ones that come, that we meet. And I remember telling that in ISKCON also we highly encourage taking whoever comes to the temple, we highly encourage them to take prasadam, because that's very important for our spiritual progress. So these were the 6 symptoms that we share, that we can share among the devotees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Very nicely brought up important points. So we'll give chance to Shanti Sudesh Mataji. You want to add anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu. There's 6 principles which will help us to progress in Bhakti, Prabhu. So, Utsaha, it is in being enthusiastic. So that means like in spite of, without enthusiasm, our whatever we are doing in devotional service, it will become mechanical and we will gradually fall down. But if we understand why we are doing certain things, and like if we understand the importance, then like and understanding the importance of the Harinama, because that is Kali Yuga Dharma. So that understanding will help us to chant. Instead of doing it mechanically, we will realize its importance and we will chant with attention, Prabhuji. And confidence in the words of Guru and seniors is also important for us to maintain our Utsaha. The next point is Nishchaya, confidence. We should have confidence in Krishna's mercy. Avishya Rakshibe Krishna. So we should know that Krishna will always be there. So that will help us to proceed with the determination, Prabhu. And it strengthens our faith. Like Krishna tells, Kaunteya Pratijanehi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So we should have faith in the words of Krishna. And this faith will develop when we are in the association of devotees. Then the idea, patience and steadiness. This will give us, this will come from our belief in the Guru's words and Krishna's mercy. That will help us to persevere without frustration. This also, like without utsaha, when we do like that, similarly, without patience, without the idea, we will fall down, we will lose faith, and our sadhana will get compromised. So we have to be like a farmer. After sowing the seeds, he has to wait patiently. He cannot go and till the soil and see how far it has progressed. So that patience we should have, patience and perseverance. Then fourth point is tat karma pravartanat. So executing our regulative principles. So this is, as is said, it is a gradual process. So we have to continuously do this. And for that, we have the niyamas, the 9 processes of bhakti. Then we have the yamas, the regulative principles, what we have to avoid. Then Sangatyaga, like our association is very important for us to progress in bhakti. So we should avoid the association of worldly minded people like atheists, Mayavadis, then sense enjoyers, womanizers, then people who are just hypocrites. They'll be outwardly, they will appear devout, but they are just hypocrites. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Asat Sangatyaga, Ye Vaishnava Achar. So that is very important. And Satovritti, following the footsteps of the previous acharyas. So they have actually showed us by example how we should live in Krishna consciousness. So following their footsteps is very important for us to progress in spirituality. Prabhu. And this includes all the 4 pillars of Dharma: truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, and austerity.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So I need to take 2-3 minutes break. So meanwhile, Neha Mataji and Kalpana Mataji can just summarize. I will join soon. Okay.
పార్వతీ పరమేశ్వర కళ్యాణం కమనీయం కనువిందు ఆయనే లోకం భూలోకం. పిల్లలార పెద్దలార ముక్కోటి దేవతలార చూడగరానండి తల్లి తీరా శివ పార్వతి కళ్యాణం లోకాలకు శుభకార్యం. శివ పార్వతి కళ్యాణం లోకాలకు శుభకార్యం. పార్వతీ పరమేశ్వర కళ్యాణం కనువిందు ఆయనే ఈ లోకం.
Hare Krishna, Kalpana Mataji.
If you're speaking, we are unable to hear you, Mataji. And puja chanting.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear me now?
Yes, Mataji.
Now it is clear? Sorry,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
I was just summarizing whatever Shanti Mataji said. I was just summarizing the final thing. So, with each principle, what we will strengthen and what we will counteract. So, for Utsaha, we will strengthen our energy and joy. We will counteract Prayasa. With Nishchaya faith, we will get the stability and we will counteract Laulyam. With Dhairya, patience, we will get lot of endurance and we will able to counteract Atyahara and impatience for results. Tat karma pravartrena, we will strengthen our regular service attitude and we will counteract prajalpa. By Sangatyaga, we'll get purity of association and we will counteract the worldly minded people association, Janasanga. Satovritti, we will get integrity and humility and we will be able to counteract niyamagraha. So each of these principles will mainly strengthen our inner devotional attitude. The foundation for devotion will be more stronger and it will destroy all the anartha nivritti will happen because of this. And then next chapter, the 6 loving exchanges, text 4 shloka. It mainly explains about the 6 loving exchanges which will help which is the main principles followed in ISKCON, so that we will get the devotees' love and affection, and we will help in we will learn how to love God without any motivation. So unalloyed devotion, that is mainly explained. Um, Mataji, sorry, I was asking Neha Mataji initially. I think you did not hear because of my audio issues. You were not able to hear, I think, Mataji. Neha Mataji, you want to continue?
You covered everything, Mataji. You all covered everything, but I'll just try to summarize.
Sixth section. Yes, Mataji. Chapter text 4, Mataji.
Yeah. So text 4 as 6 loving exchanges were there. So best gift we discussed at length in last session is to give Krishna consciousness to others. Why? Because it pleases Krishna, and we have received this amazing gift. So it is our duty to share it with someone. If we try to make some difference, be an instrument, then they will pray for us, and that prayer will help us. By devotee's prayer, Krishna's heart will melt. So that is the importance of preaching, giving Krishna consciousness to others. And best gift was also like as grihastas, they should contribute financially as well as physically by doing some seva. So it is very, very important. And then guhyam akhyate, revealing one's mind in confidence. So in confidence is very, very important here. So with whom do we share our hearts to? We have to share with a trusted devotee who doesn't exploit, but who gives us guidance through their own experiences, right? So the topic will be to discuss challenges that we face and not gossip, but to sincerely seek guidance and to open the heart for purification. When we do this kind of things, then it builds vulnerability and trust. And then we discuss prachati, which means inquiring confidentially, humbly asking and seeking guidance, and it creates mutual support. And example was 2.7, where Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, and with that surrender, that Bhagavadgita was spoken, and exchange between Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So the main point is in Krishna conscious exchange, Krishna has to be in the center. It is not that we have to gossip. And then bhunjate bhunkate, offering and accepting prasadam. It purifies both giver and receiver. And these were the points of 6 loving exchanges that we discussed. Hey Krishna, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Very nicely summarized. I think you have, I don't know whether you were there in last session. I think you have missed. Still, you have summarized so nicely listening to the recording, I hope. Thank you very much. So even my own personal experience, so many devotees approach me with some of their challenges or some of the things, and we exchange very confidentially. And whenever I am facing such issues, I reach out to my mentors. So this is very important activity for progressing in our Krishna consciousness. Many times what we do is what our mind say we try to do. I want to drop out of this session, or there are so much of material responsibilities. I'm not able to catch up to do my OBAs, CBA, or shloka recitations. So many challenges are there. So if we are listening to our mind and taking decision, 99% of the time mind will take us away from Krishna and Krishna consciousness. So we need to have such mentors, reliable mentors whom we can approach and seek guidance and follow their instructions whenever we are confused. Many of my friends or devotees, they approach me, they take instructions. I see many sincerely follow and then progress. Many take instructions, but they continue to do what they are doing. So that is also other counterproductivities, like waste of their time and my time. The point which I wanted to express or convey is we need to have spiritual masters, like we take initiation, we have our Shiksha Gurus, but we need to have some mentors whom we can approach and we can seek their guidance. We have to use our intelligence to identify such mentors and seek directions. That will really help. Okay, so good. So let us start our session. Shloka 5. It's a very beautiful shloka. It says, Krishnoti yasya giritam manasandriyetam dikshasti chet pranatabhischa bhajantamisham shushrooshaya bhajana vijnana ananyamanya nindadishunya ridamipista sangalabhye. So Shloka 4, it discussed about how one should associate with devotee. And through Shloka 5 and 6, we get further instruction how to associate with different types of devotees. We cannot deal with same way with all type of devotees. We have discussed in our earlier levels, we understand there are 3 levels of devotees. So who are these 3 levels of devotees? And how do we understand who is who? How do we categorize? Any inputs? We will discuss in detail in this chapter. Neha Mataji will give chance to others also. Yeah. So what are the different types of devotees and how do we understand who is who? What is the categorization we have learned before? Any inputs?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari.
Yes, Mataji. So how do we understand who is Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari?
The neophytes, which they go for deity worship,
Yeah.
and their faith is very loose, and they do not serve devotees.
Yeah.
And the second is Madhyam Adhikari. Their faith is firm, and they can differentiate between devotees and non-devotees, and they behave differently with all the categories of people. And the Uttamadhikari, he has the strong faith in Lord, and he do not miss to think of Lord even for the blink of eye. And he sees Lord in everyone and every living entity, and in the Lord he sees all the living entities as well.
Very nicely answered, Mataji. Perfectly answered. Thank you very much. So somebody can read the translation here. Let me see who has not participated. Anybody wish to take up?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Translation: one should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. One should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So this sloka basically explaining how to deal with devotees according to their level of advancement. Yeah. According to level of advancement. In order to properly apply the loving, we have learned the 6 loving exchanges in previous shloka. Now, how to apply this? Yeah, and most importantly, we need to understand what are the levels, the kind of Vaishnava that should be chosen as a friend, whom should we choose as a friend, whom should we look up to as our mentors, whom should we guide as the newcomers, how do we deal with them? Yeah. So all devotees should be respected. Even somebody who has chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra once to be considered as Vaishnava is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. So we will discuss that. So we need to respect everybody. But in order to make our own spiritual advancement, we need to associate with serious, sincere, seasoned devotees who have spent a lot of time in Krishna consciousness and practicing sincerely. Yeah. So that will help us to further advance than associating with, than going for casual association with each and everybody. So that will not help. That will end up we doing more of prajalpa and aparadha. So 3 levels of association. How do we deal in different 3 levels as a beginner, as a neophyte? How do we deal with such person? And how do we deal with the Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari? We will discuss more detail. Yeah, this table gives a very nice explanation. The 3 progressive level of devotees. The first is Krishneti Yasya Giritam Manasandriyetha. So in this, it talks about neophyte devotees who have started chanting the holy names, but still his faith is not strong enough. So such devotees, when we are meeting, when we are seeing, what we need to do, we have to respect them mentally. We should have high respect that he is in Krishna consciousness moment. He is chanting the holy name. And the Madhyamadhikari, Dikshasti chet pranatabhischa bhajantamisham. So this talks about one who has taken initiation and worship the Lord sincerely, follow the prescribed regulative principles very sincerely. So such devotees, when we see, we need to offer our obeisances, as well as outwardly we have to show our respect in our dealings. Yeah, and we can take guidance from them for our progress. And Uttamadhikari, Shushrushaya Bhajanam Vijnanam Ananya Anya Nindadisunya Ridama Pista Sangalabhe. So these are advanced devotees who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness and free from all kind of offenses as well as envy. He doesn't have envy to anybody. No pride nor envy. So we need to aspire to associate with such devotees and serve him intimately. So we need to, Srila Rupa Goswami says, we need to seek association of such Mahabhagavata or a perfect Vaishnava that is most desirable for our progress. So can somebody read this, please? Santoshi Bapanda Mataji, can you read this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Have we realized holy name and Lord are non-different? The chanting of the holy names of Krishna is so sublime that if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, carefully, avoiding the 10 offenses, he can certainly be gradually elevated to the point of understanding that there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself.
Yes.
Perfect. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is a very, very important point what Prabhupada brings up. In our initial days of Krishna consciousness, many of us are so enthusiastic to go to temples, go to Dham. When we are in Vrindavan Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, when you are in front of the deities, can you see the intensity with which you are praying? But do we have the same intensity when we are chanting the holy names? Have we realized chanting holy name, the Krishna holy name is non-different from the Lord himself? Do we have the firm faith that whatever challenging situations we are going through, by chanting the holy name, we will get the strength to overcome? Do we have this? We have to reflect, right? So that is the level one is progressing. When he has the taste for Harinam, the faith in Harinam, then you are progressing from your Kanishta Adhikari level to higher stages. And Prabhupada says, or Guru Acharya says, one should not remain in Kanishta Adhikari level enthusiastically following Krishna consciousness principle. We need to rise to the next level. And rising that next level is rising in our sincerity, in our sadhana, and progressing in our taste for Harinam, chanting attentively, offenselessly when we are progressing. That is our progress in Krishna consciousness. So who is the proper candidate for Krishna consciousness? Who is to advance in Krishna consciousness? Praveen MS Prabhu, can you please read this for us?
Sure, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Who is a proper candidate to advance in Krishna consciousness? One should know for certain that without chanting the holy name of the Lord offenselessly, one cannot be a proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So here it's a beautiful shloka. Says that Yahara Komala Shraddha se Kanishta Jana Krame Krame Tenho Bhakta Hi Uttama. It says that one whose faith is soft, pliable, is called neophyte, whose faith is not firm. But what is the hope? We are all in this same category. We have no firm faith in every situation that Krishna will protect us. Right? So what is the hope for us? So the path what our Guru Acharyas have given, the sadhana bhakti, gradually by following this process, one will rise to the platform from the neophyte to the first class devotee to the Uttamadhikari. And it is said that Shraddhavan Jana Haya Bhakti Adhikari Uttama Madhyama Kanishta Shraddha Anusari. Shraddha Anusari one become Kanishta, Madhyama or Uttama. So based on one's faith, one's unalloyed faith and devotion, one will rise. So that is what Arjuna says to Krishna in Bhagavadgita 10.14 sloka. Sarvam itadhritam manye yanmam vadashi Keshava. So here Arjuna is telling, oh Krishna, I am totally accept as truth that all you have told me. So Arjuna is accepting whatever Krishna has given is absolute truth. So Prabhupada in his purport says, Shraddha, the faith is that accepting the instructions of Bhagavad Gita as it is in totality, right from I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul, part and parcel of the Lord. My purpose is to serve the Lord by taking the shelter of Guru Parampara in association of devotee, engaging in devotional service. I offer my service to the Lord. So this is the process, right? 2. Sarvadharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. So knowing Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrendering to the Lord in totality, Krishna guarantees that He will relieve all our sinful activities, not to fear. Krishna will take care. So this faith is extremely important, and basis one's faith, the devotees we can categorize. So how to grow from Kanishta to Uttama phase? What is the process? Sudarshana Rao Prabhu, you want to read this for us?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. How to grow from Kanishta phase to Uttama phase. Everyone begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage, chanting the prescribed number of rounds of Harinama. He is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttamadhikari. We have witnessed that some of our contemporaries who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen into the material conception of life because they have failed to chant the holy name of the Lord. Purport. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
very important. One who do not rise in their taste for Harinam by associating with sincere devotees who have taste for Harinam. How do you taste? The easiest way to improve your taste for Harinam is to associate with devotees who have taste for Harinam. Yeah, be in that association. When you get that association, hold on to it. If not, gradually, because the forces of Maya is so strong, you will fall down. And that is what Prabhupada also has seen some of our contemporaries, Prabhupada is saying in this purport, who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen down. The great preachers have gradually fallen down because they have not raised in their taste for Harinam. That is the importance of Harinam. And Prabhupada says one should not be a Kanishta Adhikari. One has to rise to the next level. Not only take pleasure in visiting temples, dancing in front of deities. Yes, these are all byproducts. But how do we rise in our Krishna consciousness is rising in Harinam. 90%, Prabhupada says, 90% of our spiritual progress is in the quality of chanting what we are doing. When we are offenselessly, that is again is important, offenselessly, attentively when you are chanting, you are progressing. Rest everything will follow. In fact, it is said that when you are chanting the holy names in association of sincere devotees, all the dhams will be present. So you don't have to go there. All the dhams is present. All the demigods are present. Guru Acharyas are present. The Lord himself is present. That should be the mood, the intensity of your prayer in your chanting. You have to rise. And next, the Madhyamadhikari. What are the qualities of Madhyamadhikari? So we have discussed this. Do anybody remember what are the 4 qualities we have discussed before of a Madhyamadhikari? In fact, Jyoti Gupta Mataji nicely touched on that. I wish to get some answers from others.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Tarun Preeti Mataji, please go ahead.
ओके प्रभु जी। प्रेम मैत्री कृपोपेक्षा यह पश्यति समध्यमा। वो जो उनके जैसे रहते हैं उनको उनके साथ प्रेम के साथ मैत्री से डील करते हैं। जो न्यू कमर्स होते हैं उनके साथ मर्सीफुली प्रेम से डील करते हैं। और नहीं, जो न्यू कमर्स होते हैं उनके ऊपर कृपा करते हैं। और जो उनके साथ वाले होते हैं उनके साथ प्रेम से डील करते हैं। और जो थोड़े से ईर्ष्यालु वृत्ति के होते हैं उनसे अपेक्षा से डील करते हैं।
Yeah, very nice, Mataji. Perfect answer. Full marks to you.
थैंक यू।
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11,
11
Chapter 2, Shloka 46. Ishvare tadi adineshu balisheshu dvishashu cha prema maitri kripopeksha ya karoti sa madhyama.
यह पश्यति।
So what it says is, Madhyamadhikari is a devotee who worship Supreme Personality of Godhead with highest devotion. Yeah, makes friends with the devotees and merciful to the newcomers or ignorants and avoid the envious people. So the materialistic atheist people, they will avoid. Be merciful for the newcomers. He don't show your pride in front of those newcomers. Don't show as if you are a great devotee. Yeah. So this is a very nice definition of who the Madhyamadhikari. And then Uttamadhikari, we discussed, out of many such Madhyamadhikaris, there is very rarely we can find a Uttamadhikari devotees who are very seriously engaged in service of the Lord, following all the principles. Yeah. And one of the key differentiation when we see the Uttamadhikaris is they follow all the instructions of our Guru Acharyas, scriptures, and they spread this knowledge to as many conditioned souls as possible. So this is one of the quality of a Uttamadhikari. To expand this Krishna consciousness movement, is always 24/7 is engaged. Such a devotee who is Achar and Prachar, Karo Janma Sartha, Karo Paropakar. So one who is executing these principles very sincerely in his own life and then spreading this to as many conditioned souls as possible, such a devotee to be understood as a Uttama Adhikari, and we need to desire to associate with such devotees and do whatever service you can do. It can be preaching service or helping them to preach, supporting them by your contribution. So all these things is what is desired for us. By doing that, we will also progress gradually to become a first class devotee someday by the mercy of such devotees as well as our Lord Sri Krishna. So somebody can read this, please. Who? Praveen K. Prabhuji, you want to read this?
Can I read Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, there is some network issue maybe, I don't know. You can speak a bit louder.
It's okay, Prabhuji, now?
Yes, now
Hare
better,
Krishna.
Mataji. Now better.
Diksha, the beginning of a spiritual life. No, not a ritual, but a continuous, gradual process. Qualifications to take Diksha: disinterest in mat enjoyment, interested in transcendental subject matter, must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, control the mind. 6.1.13. Prepared to fully surrender to Krishna via Guru. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So advancement of our spiritual progress, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.13 says, Tamasa brahmacherena samena cha dhamena cha. It says when a person is serious about accepting Diksha, when somebody seriously want to take Diksha, he should be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control the mind and body. He should be prepared. This is very important, prepared. And then when you are prepared and when you are surrendering to your Guru Acharya, by the mercy of Guru Acharya, you will be able to execute this very nicely. Many people can get confused that I should be able to do all these things only, then I should take Diksha. No, first you desire to be, you prepare, and then by the mercy, all the anartha nivritti will happen and you will be able to do it better by the blessings of Guru Maharaj. Otherwise, on your own, it is very difficult. And second important thing, one should not accept a spiritual master or take Diksha just for the fashion or show off. It is a very serious business. One should be Jignasu, very inquisitive to learn, to further progress, offer the service to the bona fide spiritual master. So very, very serious business this is. And there is a beautiful loka reference from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela 4.192. It says, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpana, Sai Kale Krishna Tare Kare Atma Sama. It says, at the time of devotion, at the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrender to serve his Guru and Krishna, Krishna accept him to be as good as himself, is what this loka says. Yeah. So in this, one thing we understood that for further progress, Diksha is very important. And here Prabhupada says the beginning of spiritual life is after taking Diksha. So how do we understand? We are all practicing our spiritual life for many years. Many of them have not taken Diksha. And here Prabhupada is saying this is the beginning of spiritual life. So how do we understand this? In fact, I have told this couple of times, we can still repeat, so that many will firm up and understand if I have to go to Krishna in this lifetime, then there is no other way. I have to take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, surrender to him, serve them. Only by that I will be going back to Krishna in this lifetime. In fact, this question was asked to one of the very senior devotee, that I am doing all that been said in scripture, I am following all the four regulative principles, chanting, still I will not go to Krishna. So one senior devotee has said that you will not go to Krishna. Maybe you may get one more opportunity in a very nice family take birth to a Vaishnava family, and then you continue. But until and unless you don't surrender to a spiritual master and take Diksha from him, your next progress is always an impediment. So knowing this, now Diksha is the beginning of spiritual life. So coming back to my question, how do we need to understand this? With a simple example.
You said about taking the entrance exam.
Yeah. Good, Mataji. You remembered that analogy. Very simple understanding that many students prepare for JEE preparation. Now, 12th, JEE and NEET exams are there. From 8th standard, students have started preparation for this. Right? 4 years, they are preparing. So all the spiritual practice, what we are doing is preparing for it. And after Diksha, as soon as I get Diksha, will I go to Krishna in this lifetime only? That example, what we said is, we are getting into medical education or engineering. So we are studying. As soon as you have joined an engineering course, you have not become an engineer. So rest of our life, after taking Diksha till the last breath of our life is our curriculum. Till the last breath of our life, if we have properly follow what our Guru Acharyas have given in association of devotees, then by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we will get our certificate. And that certificate is the visa to go back to Godhead. So the practical application of this sloka, coming back to, is how are we dealing with the devotees according to their Shraddha. So when practical application, when you meet someone who are occasionally chanting, offer respect, appreciate their connection with the Krishna, and you meet a practicing devotee who has taken Diksha, so physically offer obeisances with all humility. And when you meet a saintly devotee free of envy and pride, seek their association, blessings, and engage in serving them. So the core takeaway from this, by recognizing and honoring devotees at different level, from beginner to saint, one's own devotion becomes steady, humble, and full of grace. What we get to know. Now we are moving to Shloka 6. So Shloka 6 discuss one level higher, that is, how do we deal with that Uttamadhikari? Yeah, a pure devotee, Shuddha Bhakta, is always situated in Krishna consciousness. So we should never judge such a devotee by their material standards or bodily features, their family lineage, caste, social status. And offending or criticizing a pure devotee is considered to be a serious Vaishnava aparadh, obstructing one's own progress in devotional service. So this is a very serious topic. Let us look into this. So that beautiful shloka, it says, Drishter Swabhava Janiter Vapushcha Dosher Na Prakrtatvam Iha Bhakta Janasya Pashyet Gangam Basham Na Khalu Budbudhapena Panker Brahma Dravatvam Apagacchati Niradharme. So let us see the translation. So somebody can help me who has not participated at Devika Gupta Mataji. Can you please read this for us?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee's having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee, but despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges water do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this shloka, as said, deals with how do we associate and deal with the pure devotees, and we need to understand these pure devotees are beyond their bodily features, complexions, or thing, and the lineage, whether they are coming from a Brahmana family or a low birth. In fact, there's a beautiful example. Our Namacharya Haridas Thakur is from a different religion, but he has got the highest position in our Vaishnava thing, right? So their material appearances, it does not affect the purity of a pure devotee. And here the analogy is given is Ganges, the water of Ganges. So in rainy season, we see lot of it is filled with lot of foam, mud, and other things, but it looks materially from our external eyes, it is polluted, but it always purify our soul. So this sloka talks about what is Shuddha Bhakti, how Lord's devotees should be seen. How do we see the Lord's pure devotees, and what is Vaishnava Aparadha? What are the consequences of Aparadha? How to avoid such Aparadha and overcoming such consequences? So these are all is discussed further in this sloka. So Shuddha Bhakti we have discussed before. So can somebody read this sloka as part of your Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu when you have already learned this sloka?
Prabhuji,
Hare
may I?
Krishna Prabhuji. Hare
Wish
Krishna
to see
Prabhuji.
somebody who has not participated yet. Anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Shuddha Bhakti, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 167th verse. Anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulena krishnanushilanam, bhakti uttama. This verse is also found in Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 1.1.11. Thank you,
Yes.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So the Shuddha Bhakti, the pure devotional service, we need to understand this is the natural function of a soul. Yeah. And this Shuddha Bhakti can help us to transcend the three modes of Gunatita, Gunas. It can transcend the material modes and is spiritually, and by doing this pure devotional service, even one in this material body can liberate. So it's sa gunan samatitaitan. It says so one can spiritually liberate even while in this body. And how Lord's devotee should not be seen. So nobody should criticize bodily defects of a pure devotee. We have discussed such defects should be overlooked. What should be taken into account is the spiritual master's main business, and the main business is to practice Krishna consciousness, spread Krishna consciousness. So we need to appreciate a pure devotee based on this quality than any bodily defects. And fault finding. We should not be finding faults of Lord's devotees. That is what Shloka 9.30 says. So somebody wish to recite this shloka from Bhagavad Gita?
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please go.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Api chetu सुदुराचारो भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यग् व्यवसितो हि सः.
Yeah. So this sloka says, even if one commits the most abominable actions, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So if somebody is doing any mistake, you don't try to judge. Yeah. Many times we have seen somebody is doing some mistake because of his sincerity in devotional service, he will correct himself by the mercy of devotees, or some senior Vaishnava may correct. But if we try to make judgment on such devotee, we will fall down. Our progress will be an impediment. So we need to be very careful in such dealings. And practically, then how do we deal with such situation? When we see somebody is doing something wrong, what you can do, you need to see the right authority and give this information to them as what you have seen, but do not spread rumors without understanding what is the fact behind such activities. So this is very sensitive topic. We need to be carefully deal with that. That is where your spiritual mentors, Siksha Gurus will help. And one, we should not be differentiated based on one's family background. So again, Goswami title is not hereditary. This is what we need to understand. Guna Karma Vibhagasa we have learned in Bhagavadgita, right? So based on his actions, based on his devotional services, one becomes Goswami. How he control his mind and senses, how he is engaging in Krishna consciousness activity, by that one becomes Goswami. In fact, the first shloka clearly gives us the direction, right? One who can become a Goswami or a Guru is given in our first shloka of Nectar of Instruction. And this talk about Vaishnava Aparadha. So without considering these facts, if we engage in blaspheming any such devotee, then it is a big impediment and it is compared to as Hati Mata. And consequence of offending a Vaishnava is very serious. Hati Mata we discussed. And it is very obstructive and dangerous. Person cannot derive any spiritual benefit when he offends the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. And how ways an offense may happen, how one engage in such offense is by criticism. So Prabhupada says in his purport, when he was practicing preaching Krishna consciousness, unfortunately he was surrounded by many such God brothers who do not appreciate these extraordinary activities of spreading of Krishna consciousness. Many were questioning. Now there were many foreigners, because of their contribution, their support in this movement. ISKCON has grown to such has spread all across the world. Initially, many were not accepting them to be the Goswamis. So that is against what our scriptures are giving us. Somebody can read this for me.
Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
One is forbidden to observe the activities of a pure Vaishnava from a material point of view. For the neophyte, especially, considering a pure devotee from a material point of view is very injurious. One should therefore avoid observing a pure devotee externally, but should try to see the internal features and understand how he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. In this way, one can avoid seeing the pure devotee from a material point of view, and thus one can gradually become a purified devotee himself. Hare Krishna, Babu.
Yes, Prabhu. So can I get some examples from our day-to-day dealings when we are associating with devotees, or when we are visiting temples? What are the occasions where we can make such mistake? Some elevated devotees looking at his activities, we may start judging. He is such a senior devotee, but why is he dealing like this? Some examples can come to your mind.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mother.
For example, suppose a senior devotee is supposed to address the gathering and he comes late. So lots of people are waiting. So we may think we will not understand what his situation is. So that is one offense.
Very, very nice. Very nice example. So mentally we are thinking somebody, for example, in a temple, Mangalarti, some senior devotees are not attending Mangalarti. First thing we come to our thought is, I am here for a Mangalarti, but these devotees have not turned up. These are all pride. We don't know what that devotee has been doing all night last night, right? One example I can share is whenever we are going to temple, especially in festival times, lot of crowd management, some senior devotee may be shouting at devotees to fall in line, or especially when taking prasadam, we can see so much of rush. Devotees have to manage crowd and they have to shout. Many times we end up thinking they talk about Krishna consciousness, anger management, but what is he doing? Without doing that, he can't manage the crowd, right? So always we need to see the Vaishnava qualities of a person, and he's having his administrative duty as a managerial duty. He has his duties to do. So we should not mix both of this. So these are some of the practical example in our day-to-day activities. And jealousy. There is no place for jealousy in Krishna consciousness movement. Many times when we see the devotees who are doing very nice seva, we feel jealous, we feel envious. When we see somebody is getting recognized for their service, we feel jealous or envious. When we see somebody is getting more opportunity for seva, we feel jealous. We should always appreciate, we should always see the good things, how we can overcome this enviousness or jealousy. It is so dangerous. In fact, there is in Rasa Leela, for a momentary thing, when the gopis were thinking Krishna is only dancing with me, that momentary pride, Krishna leaves them, right? So this is very, very careful we need to be. So how to overcome this quality is by looking at good qualities of those devotees, appreciating what they are doing good. When you are appreciating, then this mood of pride, enviousness, jealousy will gradually go away. We need to appreciate everybody, their contribution to Krishna consciousness. So can somebody read this? Please, for reading, devotees who have not participated, if they can raise the hand, I can give opportunity.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
A person who is actually engaged in the confidential service of the Lord should not be treated as an ordinary human being. For it is stated that unless one is empowered by Krishna, one cannot spread the Krishna conscious movement all over the world. If it is an offensive to give advice or correct the spiritual master, the advanced Vaishnava is always situated as the spiritual master, and the neophyte is always considered his disciple. The spiritual master must not to be subjected to the advice of a disciple, nor should a spiritual master be obliged to take instructions from those who are not in.
Yes. So here, the person who is engaged in service of the Lord, we should not treat them as an ordinary human being. That is again one of the offense of Namaparad, right? Not following the instructions of spiritual master and consider him as an ordinary person, right? And secondly, it is offensive to give advise or correct the spiritual master. This again is very, very important thing. You can always give suggestions for the improvement of any of the services. We can always give our suggestions, but the mood in which we give the suggestion, the way we present that suggestion is very, very important. Don't present something as if this is not the way it has to be done, this is how it has to be done. That is not the mood we have to present our suggestions or ideas. So the conclusion of this chapter, so this verse emphasizes the supremacy of spiritual identity over material identity of a devotee. We need to understand that we should not judge anybody based on their material identities. Respect, humility, and discernment are required in interacting with pure devotee, and offending a pure devotee will obstruct our own spiritual progress. And the titles of Goswami is not hereditary, it is functional. And genuine practitioner focus on transcendental devotional service and avoid material evaluation of others, and cultivating humility, devotion, and spiritual maturity. So they continue to cultivate these qualities. The last chapter for the day is Shloka 7. This is the glories of holy name, Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Yeah. In order to come to the highest platform of Uttama Bhakti, we should cleanse our heart first, right? Our materialistic contamination, this to be cleansed. And that can happen only by rising in our chanting of holy name, the quality of holy name. And the sincere, consistent sadhana, ahituki apratihata, consistent and unconditional. You are getting taste or not, you are getting blissful or not. Every day you are getting up in Brahma Muhurta, associating with devotees, chanting your rounds, irrespective of your material situation. When you do this, gradually all the ignorance is removed and you fix up at the lotus feet of Krishna. So we will discuss more through this sloka. This again is a very nice sloka. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pitto Patapta Rasanasya Na Rochikanu Kin Kin Kinvadarad Anudinam Kalushaiva Justa Swadvi Kramad Bhavati Tat Gatamula Hantri. So can somebody read this for me who has not participated yet?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this sloka emphasizes on the sweetness, the transcendental sweetness of holy names, the Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Lord. And this transforms even one who is completely in ignorance because of his avidya. Yeah, just like a jaundice is cleared by the sugar candy, the sugar cane juice is given to one who is afflicted by jaundice, right? Though he is not able to taste the sweetness, but that is the medicine for him. By continuously giving sugar cane juice once jaundice is left, similarly by continuously chanting of the holy name, engaging in services, glorifying the Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Lord, all our impurities, our avidya will also get destroyed from the root, is the essence of this chapter. So being deceased, we are all being deceased, and what is happening? The forgetfulness of Krishna. Yeah, Prabhupada says, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is the theme. So we've been living all our life, forgetting our relationship with Krishna and trying to find the material solutions. More you try to find the solution materially, more new problems keep creating, right? And it is said that blind by materialistic leader, the society is blind by materialistic leader and one who don't surrender to Krishna. And if you see the atheistic people, the materialistic people, one who is practicing Krishna consciousness, they think that the devotees are wasting their time, which is in reality is other way around. So the avidya. So I said there is a beautiful a story which I heard recently. So there is a province where the king and his minister, they go out for a walk in the morning and evening. Okay, so once as they pass by through their village, there is a small hut inside which there is a sadhu who is always in chanting the holy names or engaging in some services. So morning they pass by, they see him doing these services. Evening they pass by, they doing these services. So always they stop there and couple of exchange of dialogues are the king and the minister is such a fool who is wasting all his day in doing all these practices. What is he going to get out of these things? So this is their exchange. And after few months, the king tells the minister to find the most dumbest person in his province. Yeah. And the background of this is the king is always so attached to his position, his opulences, his praja, his so many servants are there, so many relatives are there, so many queens are there. Yeah, so he's always surrounded by so many people. And he is so arrogant. And he tells his minister to go find the most dumbest person in our entire province and give this coin, gold coin. There is a gold coin king gives to the minister and says, give this coin to the most dumbest person. So the minister go around, he sees lot of dumb people doing foolish activities, and when minister go and say that you are one of the dumb person I'm seeing, nobody accept that. No, I am not. Everybody has their own justification, yeah, for those activities. And finally when he coming back dejected that he is not able to find anybody who is the most dumbest and nobody is accepting it, and he comes in a dejected mood and he meets this sadhu. So sadhu says, I am the most dumbest person around. So minister also is very happy. Yes, even my king will also accept this thing that you are the most dumbest person wasting all time. So this gold coin is for you. So Sadhu keeps that gold coin aside. Many years passed and the king is in his last stage. He's about to leave his body and he's almost bedridden and completely deteriorated his body. Somebody very old age when he's almost about to die and saliva is coming out of he's excreting then and there. So he got into such a position. And when he sees all his opulences is not helping him to become healthy. None of his queens are around. Now queens have all gone, all the relatives have gone away. There's nobody around. So then this sadhu comes to this king. And then sadhu asks a couple of questions to this king that you've been living with so much of arrogance, so much of opulence, so much of people around. Where are they? Are you able to understand who you are? So he says, no, I am not able to. And sadhu asks, did you at least understood what is the purpose of your life? You become the king, you had everything. Did you understood what you are supposed to do? That also he don't know. And this king says that I am leaving now. So sadhu says, where are you leaving? So he doesn't know where he is leaving. So he absolutely have no idea. He's completely wasted his life. So sadhu is giving back this gold coin to the king and saying, you are the biggest fool who have lost this golden opportunity. Durbala Manusha Janma. So instead of Atato Brahma Jignasa, instead of understanding you are not this body, you are the spirit soul, and the purpose of the soul is to connect to Krishna, engage in devotional service, take the shelter of the Lord, and in this lifetime you have to go back to Krishna. That this is the purpose. Without knowing, you have wasted your life. So you are the biggest fool. So this realization, the king has got it at the last leg of the life by the mercy of the associated devotees and our Guru Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada. We are getting this knowledge right now. At least now we have to start becoming serious from wherever we are, whatever we are doing. None of us are perfect. We all have improvements. So let us reflect and become serious about the purpose of our life. So now we understood we are all in this golden cage. Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. We are all suffering. How do we overcome this suffering? So can somebody read this, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
How to relieve the suffering. If the mind and consciousness is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and the heart from all misconception, one should take to this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material existence.
Yes. So again, it is all coming back to chanting of holy name. So all that we can do, the endeavors, knowing the purpose of our life and knowing our dharma, everything, all we can do is enthusiastically put those endeavors in rising in our taste for Harinam. And we have discussed at length how we can do. Now is the time to take action. The holy name, Harinam, is the cure for all our diseased condition. Holy name is like a touchstone. It can grant all desirable object to the chanter. So all that we need to ask, holy name will give everything. All we need to ask is Shuddha Bhakti, Shuddha Seva. By sincerely chanting in association of devotees, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, what happens is cleansing, Anartha Nivrutti. With that, we fix up Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prema. We will rise. So by chanting, what is happening? Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhama Davagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavad Jivanam Ananda Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritaswadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijete Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this Cheto Darpana, the cleansing of our heart, is happening by chanting the holy name, and we are getting that bliss of Krishna consciousness, and we are progressing in Krishna consciousness journey. So in chanting of this holy name, we were all in ignorance. We had no idea about holy names, right? Somehow, by the mercy of this devotees, Krishna consciousness movement, we got this holy name. And at this stage, what we are doing a lot of nama aparadh, chanting of holy name. We are doing a lot of nama aparadh. Now we need to further rise, knowing what are the nama aparadhs we need to avoid. By doing that, we rise to the nama abhas stage. Nama abhas, I have told you before, the simple way we can understand how the nama abhas is avoid the offenses. Second, while chanting the holy name, when you reflect, your mind is roaming around. Every time you realize, you bring back. This process is the Nama Abha stage and Shuddha Nama. So the Nama Abhas is in our hands. We can do something, but Shuddha Nama is not in our hand. It comes only by the mercy of pure devotees and the Nama Prabhu himself. We get Shuddha Nama. This will come by our endeavors and mercy, Damodara Leela, right? This is the key lesson from Damodara Leela. So when we put our endeavors with all sincerity, then the mercy will follow. If little headache, little sleep loss, little work, bodily conditioning, if you are not able to wake up in Brahma Muhurta and continue your sadhana, the mercy will not follow. And then the analogy is light and darkness we discussed. Now we've been serving Maya. Serving Maya is darkness. And when by chanting the holy name, we are moving towards light. When there is light, there is no darkness. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar. Yaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Ka Adhikar. Wherever there is Krishna, there is no authority to Maya. So with this, we'll conclude on time. The conclusion from this shloka, the verse teaches Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, names, pastime, qualities, and transcendental, is inherently sweet, but only a spiritually awakened person can taste this sweetness. And that spiritual awakening will happen by studying Srila Prabhupada books, engaging in this exchange of ideas and practicing it. Our spiritual awakening will happen. Through that, we can start tasting the sweetness of holy name, and material ignorance prevents this taste. Our avidya, our ignorance will. That is why when somebody says that chanting of holy name is become mechanical, because he is not putting that endeavor. So daily chanting, engagement in Krishna consciousness activity, it will cure gradually, and spiritual jaundice is removed, and one start feeling the blissfulness, and that can happen in regular association of devotees, sincere practice, and avoidance of material engagement. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you for your patience listening. It's very, very in-depth revelation for myself through my preparation. It is so nice. Many things we take things for granted when we are practicing Krishna consciousness. By understanding this, we have to become serious and put our endeavors to rise in our practice and Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna devotees. Hope you all enjoyed today's session.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji.
Very nice.
Any key takeaways from anybody who wants to share? Any quick questions which I can help?
Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
First, tell me some key takeaway, Mataji.
Prabhuji, key takeaway I think is basically that we in our material preoccupations, we may try to solve many problems through material interpretations of situations, trying to find a solution. But we always land up in worse problems, Prabhuji, and make all the mistakes possible, which then again come back to bite us. But where I'm confused, Prabhuji, is that we are in a material frame and we are faced with material problems, not necessarily to enjoy the senses, but there are actual familial problems or problems with friends, and we try to find a solution. But while doing the nam jap and all that to the best of our ability, which is of course very limited, but there are problems that arise as a consequence of our attempts. So how to know in which direction to attempt even, other than asking the Lord for guidance? But then if you don't get a clear answer, what do you do? Because the material situation is immediate and is not going to go away. it will stay with you until you find a way of getting either away from it or out of it. And sometimes it's so difficult to understand where to go, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
That's a genuine dilemma which I have, and I thought I'll bring it to you
Yeah.
for some solution, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji. See,
Krishna.
this is very general question. We need to go deep into the specific situation what you are going to. So if we can connect, so you can share. But in general, the basic philosophy is whenever we are putting into some difficult situation, first of all, we need to understand it is our own prarabdha karmas. Yeah. And how it can help you deal with the situation and you don't fall down is see them as one who is trying to help you. One is fixing up in Krishna consciousness, because when you are in difficult situation, you are holding on to Krishna, you are reaching out to your spiritual master, you are trying to find answer in scriptures. So by doing that, it is helping you, right?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
So this way you can deal the situation, be compassionate. And again, this situation have to be dealt differently with different people. It cannot be same solution for everybody. Somebody, if my immediate family member is doing something, there is a different way of dealing. Some of my close friends who is doing, it's a different way of dealing. Some of my colleagues who is doing certain things, different way of dealing. A neighbor is doing, giving us some difficulties, it's a different way of doing. So it's a very broad question you have asked. But generally, one thing which need to understand is whenever we are going through some difficult situation, okay, we are purifying our prarabdha karma. It is like our bank account. So we have our accounts both for pious activity as well as impious activity. When we are facing some difficult situation and still following the principles of Krishna consciousness, that impious activity is getting reduced. So be happy with that.
Yes, Prabhuji, that is absolutely correct. And although I don't know whether, because some of these situations may not be directly related to you or to any one of us, but it is something that you need to help to 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 resolve someone's problem. But to what extent you can go and what extent you will be allowed to offer solutions, it's hard to. And you're absolutely right, Prabhuji. It's a gradation of the problems from immediate family to extended to neighbor to friend to colleague. It's very true, Prabhuji. And only by I don't know, Prabhuji, in my own life, all I find is just relying on the Lord and hoping and praying that He solves the problem for me by telling me which way to go.
Yeah.
That's the only hope I have, Prabhuji. I
Yes.
don't have any
Yes.
other hope.
Hold on to it. I don't know what is the situation you are going through. So specific situation will vary. So if you have any such things, you can connect me. We can discuss.
I will do so, Prabhuji. I'll write to you.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
So we can
Hare Krishna,
discuss.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Any other points?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Kirti Mataji has shared OB and CBA. Maybe after the session, I'll read out the marks to the devotees, Prabhuji.
Okay. So after so it is already shared with the devotees, or you are going to share now?
No, I have to read out Mataji. Mataji has asked me to just read out the marks to the devotees.
Okay. You can read out after this session. So thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhasya cha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, षट गोस्वामी की जय. All glories to assembled devotees. As I've said in the beginning of this module will end very soon. So please cover up your backlogs so that all your names can be sent to the certification, and you all will get it in time. Otherwise, anybody who has to cover up, they have to wait till next batch and other things. So please, anybody having any shortage of attendance, anybody who has not done CBA, OBA, whatever it is, please close it so that we will send out for things. So I will stop the recording.